Saturday night's main event needs to include title changes or just get rid of it. Yeah, I agree. I'm also not happy about the fact that John Cena's retirement is apparently going to happen at a SNME, because what the fuck do you mean SNME is his final match? Somehow with John Cena, we've gone from him having an entire pay-per-view dedicated to his retirement to maybe him extending the retirement tour and retiring at WrestleMania, which both things are something that he absolutely deserves, to now we're going to have him retire at the same place where Goldberg retired. Goldberg, John Cena. Yeah, man, can't wait for John Cena's retirement match to have 53 commercial breaks. I just feel like SNME would be a better execution if it didn't happen all the time and then nothing really happened on it. And let me know your wrestling hot takes down in the comments below. It can be current day or it can be in history, and you'll have a chance of being in the next episode. Mankind is one of the greatest hardcore wrestlers and story characters. The music he used gave peace when he won, but he would go through hell to get there. Mick was great. I mean, I don't know how much of a hot take that is necessarily, but yeah, I love Mick Foley, love Mankind, love all the iterations of Mick Foley. Hell, I even kind of liked Holy Foley on the WWE Network. Dirty Dom should be Cena's last opponent. Dom will one day be a world champion, and it would get him closer to being one if he is Cena's last opponent. In all honesty, I wouldn't hate seeing Dirty Dom be the final opponent, although at this point in the retirement tour, we've only got a short amount of matches left. Although once he gets Logan Paul out of the way at Clash in Paris, and then you've got the Brock Lesnar match, he doesn't have a ton of dates left on this retirement tour. And in my opinion, it's a shame that Edge isn't still in WWE, because that is absolutely a match I'd love to see for his final match. Equally, I really need to see another AJ Styles John Cena match, and where the clock's ticking down, so we need to see that real soon. And then one that maybe could happen, it's like a 5% chance, is The Rock, but I don't know how much I really want to see that now. Knowing The Rock, he'd probably show up for all of the promos and then say, listen, Triple H, I'm not there for the match. I thought you knew. But Dirty Dom is certainly the future of this business, and the improvement that he has made in the last 5 years is absolutely incredible, so I'd love to see him be Cena's final opponent. And what a way that would be to catapult Dirty Dom into that world title scene, or catapult him into that next step of his career if he were to beat Cena in his final match. A Mysterio beating Cena. He gets revenge for his dad from 2011. Oh, the seeds. The seeds. SmackDown is missing something. Overall, it is a rough spot in WWE, but SmackDown doesn't feel must watch. People who should be the main event aren't used well, and it is carried by a great tag division. I'm actually gonna have to go ahead and disagree with you right there. I think the tag division on SmackDown has taken a nosedive in the last couple months. Between the dominance of the MFTs, which they're not very entertaining, you know, Solo Sikoa was great, but the MFTs around him, and then you've also got the Wyatt Six, who I'm just not really that huge on, so it's been kind of a drag in some areas, but obviously you've got standouts like the TLC match at SummerSlam, which was fantastic. But I don't necessarily think SmackDown is missing something. I think it can be pretty entertaining. The only thing it might be missing is a little bit of separation in how it is branded. Drew McIntyre, one of the GOATs, put it simply, and really should have had a match with Cody at Clash in Paris to get that 4th world title. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm going to Clash in Paris, so I don't know if by the time you're seeing this, it would have been made official or not, or if they're going in a different direction for now, but the way Drew McIntyre has been moving on SmackDown, and especially the way SmackDown ended last week with that table spot, the Claymore into the table breaking, Drew being in his face, low-key, I wouldn't mind them doing a shock title win for Drew McIntyre here. I wouldn't mind it, because how could you make Cody Rhodes' 2nd world title reign less predictable than having him hold it till WrestleMania, than have Drew McIntyre win it shockingly in a brutal match? MJF should win at All Out, since Hangman won at All In. It makes sense. What would have made way more sense is having Will Ospreay win the world title in London, but I guess that's not where we're going, so that's all I have to say about that. People hate the style of AEW's wrestling, but honestly at the moment I'm enjoying the weekly television more than what WWE is putting out. AEW has compelling characters and actual well-booked stories. Good time to be a wrestling fan. And then in the replies, I agree, AEW are on gas at the moment. The runtime of both shows is just perfect, man, especially with all the wrestling that they're able to fit into each show. Both Collision and Dynamite have been a much better and alternative watch in comparison to Raw and SmackDown. And as I've said in previous Hot Takes videos, AEW is absolutely entertaining at the moment. It just is. Especially since we got out of the Death Riders holding the world title hostage moment in AEW, things have really started to pick up even more. I still think there's areas where the company could work on certain things, but generally I'm enjoying that company right now. I really enjoyed the Hiroshi Tanahashi moment with Jon Moxley in that interview the other day.
They got Tanahashi. Hiroshi Tanahashi. Interesting. Thank you very much.
And I will also say, I try not to pick sides because I like AEW, I like WWE, there's no allegiance here. I'm not one of those fans on Twitter who's like really, you know, diehard hating one promotion and loving the other. Like, I love all of wrestling, really. But I've got to say, the things that WWE are doing, like they're trying to double book another weekend that AEW is on, I think it is All Out in Toronto, and they're trying to put either Bad Blood on there or another pay-per-view. I think that is so lame, genuinely. WWE is entering its flop era. Honestly, with the way Triple H be moving nowadays, you might actually be right. He's been making some questionable decisions recently. Wrestling is so boring that I just watched Raw for the opening segment. Oh my god, so you've only been seeing Seth Rollins promos this whole time? Oh, I'm so sorry. Till last month I was watching the main event too, but it's been the same BS over and over again. I get that you want to protect your wrestlers, but at the end of the day, it's wrestling. They're supposed to get pinned. That's how it works. The weird thing is, I actually feel like since Seth won the world title, I know it's only been a couple of weeks, but I feel like Raw is better. Now, granted, the ending is pretty much the same every time, and that is frustrating. DQ endings are never really satisfactory for the viewer, but I do feel like now that they have the world title and now that Braun and Braun are getting a little bit more shine and getting a bit more chance to establish their own characters, it has actually been more compelling than it was pre-SummerSlam. But at the same time, for as much as sometimes the content in the promos can be solid, the whole opening Raw with a long promo and then a match gets made official, it happens a lot, and then it ends in a DQ, and I get it. Ethan Page should be on the main roster. Oh, I wholeheartedly agree with that. That man is going to be a mega star when he goes up. If Total Divas comes back, so does the Divas title. Fight me. I'ma keep it a buck with you. I want Total Divas back even more than the next guy, but I don't think the Divas title is ever going to come back. In this era of professional wrestling where we have reality shows and we have shows that are peeling back the curtain like WWE Unreal, there is definitely an avenue and a space for shows like Total Divas, but do I think it needs to mean that they go back to being divas? No, I just think that's the title. That's who they are on the show. It's reality TV. And again, I've said before, you don't need to call it Total Divas. If you want to call them Total Superstars, that works too. Just same premise, I don't mind. Rhea Ripley should head to SmackDown. She has nothing left to do on Raw. This is once again another reason why we need that draft to happen, that brand split to properly happen again, because we need separation and we need fresh starts for certain superstars, but I don't know if Rhea Ripley is one of them right now. I know she's kind of been in the world title picture a lot, and I can see why that would be repetitive to some of you, but right now there is still that thing in the background of her not being able to beat Io Sky, and I think until that story is resolved, maybe at WrestleMania next year, I don't think she's going to go to SmackDown to start anew. Dean Ambrose / Jon Moxley is the greatest storyteller of the Shield and one of the greatest storytellers of all time. Listen, man, I love Moxley as much as the next guy, but you're bugging. In terms of in-ring work, Rey Fenix is the best luchador of all time. Wow, a lot of superlatives today. If you immediately disagree, then you need to see his AEW and Lucha Underground runs. Also, Deonte, please make a Lucha Underground video one day. Listen, man, I've been wanting to make that Lucha Underground video for like 3-4 months. I'm just really worried that not a lot of you are going to watch it. That's always the concern when you're a YouTuber. Views aren't everything, but at the same time, I don't want to kill my channel momentum by uploading a video that only 1,000 of you watch, you know? So that's always in my mind consciously, but in terms of Rey Fenix, yeah, that man is a star, and he was fantastic in AEW. Haven't seen him in Lucha Underground yet, but I'm sure he killed it there, and in WWE, he's a constant highlight whenever he's on the screen. Jelly Roll didn't do nearly as bad in that tag match as I originally thought he would. He protected himself as well as the wrestling business itself. Definitely wouldn't mind seeing him do some more stuff in WWE. Yeah, massive shout out to Jelly Roll. He absolutely killed it in his debut. So humbled, so nice of a guy. And for his first match, he had a really solid performance, so I wouldn't mind seeing him again down the road to get revenge on Logan Paul or whatever it may be.